And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at a game called Night Parade of 100 Yokai. And also, I'm going to briefly mention the Moonlight Whispers expansion for it. So this is an engine building game of sorts. And what I mean by that is you're going to be placing cards and running a row of cards. Essentially, making a parade, having a parade, huzzah! And at the end of the parade, you'll get different actions and do various things, and that's going to score you points. I'll show you more. On a player's turn, they're going to pick one of these scrolls that's face down and flip it face up. So let's say I flip this one face up. It's going to then show you what you're going to do. You're going to activate all the cards that are here. So right now there's only one card there. And each card you activate all the symbols on it from top to bottom. Once you're done activating all of them, you can buy a new card. Then you turn your scrolls into spirit tokens, and then this stays face up. Next turn, you have to pick one of the face down ones. So I might pick this one, and when my turn's over, I flip this over. So you always have two to pick from. Now the top of the card shows you, for example this here, shows me that I could put one of my meeples on an Earth Island. And you can see this one, this one, this one, and this one are Earth Islands, so I can just put one there. You can put out only one per island per turn. But once you have enough on an island that matches the number there, this one shows 4, I remove all of those and put this Tory here. This is going to help me by getting me points at the end of the game, and if I'm the first person, I'll get the bonus here, in this case, 2 spirit tokens. If a card shows a fist icon, and you are in the same spot as somebody else, you can just remove that person and give it back. If it shows a wing token, like this one here, you can move to an adjacent spot. It's really the only way to get to the middle one, but you can move from one island to another island. Other actions will give you spirit tokens and talisman tokens, and those are important because for each talisman token that you have, you can buy one card. So I might buy this one. This costs me 1 talisman, plus the cost of this column here is 2 spirit tokens. 4 spirit tokens, 6 spirit tokens, but obviously these are better. When this one activates, I can go to an Earth Island, attack someone else, and get 2 spirit tokens. This one here, I can go to a Water Island and 1 spirit token. The color that you take is the row that you put it into. This means as the game goes by, when you activate a row, I'm going to do this card, this card, this card, this card. So that's pretty cool. You're going to be able to do more actions per turn. Also, at the beginning of the game, each person is going to have a hidden plot card. And this is going to show you how you score points. And so each of these will have a variety of things. Some of them give you points for different icons on your cards. Some give points for having your Tory on the islands. And then, of course, you get 1 Tory for every island that you're on. The game is going to be, the end of the game is triggered when someone puts out their 5th of these. And everyone's going to have equal turns, and then you're just going to add up points. There's a few things on the board that will also give you point tokens. Some of them just give you spirit, but some of them actually give you a point total on them, and those will be added to your final score also. Real quickly, I want to mention the Moonlight Whispers expansion, because this is a pretty easy thing to add in. This adds 2 new icons. This icon here, when you activate it, when it's at the end of one of your rows, after you activate it, it will move to a different row. So this icon can allow you to move things from one row to another, even if there are other things on the card. And then there's the icon that shows the sandals here, and that just says what you can do is all your people are on islands standing face up, you can lay them down. So this allows when someone attacks you, they have to hit you twice. Once to stand you up, and then once to take you out. So it's kind of a defensive posturing. It also adds a couple new factions and colors. Now these are going to attract a lot of people to the game. They're really cute, you know, and they're also very easy to distinguish from each other. I like them a lot. Even more than that, the artwork for the game is really nice. You have, you know, all these kind of spirit cards. By the way, the cards are good quality. Some of them are a little more disturbing than others. Others of them make me laugh. And some of them, I was always trying to get a few of them just because I like the picture on the card, which I find to be, you know, it's not necessarily the best reason to pick somebody, but I'd be like, I want a dragon. but you're trying to match these symbols. The symbols are really easy to remember. I also liked the islands, and I like the fact that you just simply flip them over for a 1 to 2 player game. By the way, there is solo stuff in here. I haven't messed with it. The expansion stuff fits in very easily, and the rules are very well written. Now, one of the things about the game that is good is the simplicity. And when I talked about the components, I do want to quickly go back and say the little tokens for the spirit and the little tokens for the talismans, they were a little too small for me. I would have preferred, and they also have denominations of 1, 2, and 3. For the spirit tokens, they should have just all been 1. Who cares? And they should have been little wooden components. I think that would have been better. But the game itself is pretty simple. You collect stuff, you use it. Talismans, you can't keep them from turn to turn, so you turn them in at the end if you have 2 of them for 1 spirit token. But it's very simple. Put out stuff, move it, get majorities, fight other people sometimes, put out your gates, score points, repeat. Build cool lines of stuff. Now, there's a couple problems with the base game. First of all, I'm not convinced, and I've seen online people agreeing with this, I'm not convinced that the starting 3 cards for the different factions are balanced. It feels like they're not. Secondly, they let you run 3 different rows, and so the idea of the game is, hey, fill them up. Which row will I run this turn? But you will find yourself likely making 2 strong rows and just switching back and forth between those. You say, but then you don't put anything on the other 3rd row. Well, first of all, you don't need to do that to win the game. Secondly, you get some wings, and you can just move your stuff to those spaces anyway. I almost wish it made you run all 3 of them. Run one, pick your choice, then run another one, your choice, then run the 3rd one, then unflip them all and do it again. It felt like that would have been a better way to make it even out. That being said, I do want to talk about Moonlight Whispers because it fixes that problem, having cards that move from one row to another. That's pretty cool. The other thing is that fighting in this game is pretty mean. It's just spend tokens, remove the other person. And again, this expansion helps a lot by giving you a way to have defense against that. And it's possible in a game like this for everyone to kind of pick on one person, or for one person to be in conflict with multiple people, but those people aren't necessarily in conflict with each other. That's just the way the game works out. Now, these are minor things, but I will say because of that, mixed with the engines aren't as interesting as you might think, I found the game to be decent, good, but not something that I would necessarily recommend. However, when you add in the Moonlight Whispers expansion, I like it more. I still don't know that I love it, but it's a much stronger game, and so I would get this game, but only if you grab this and mix it in. It also provides 2 more colors, green and gray, which are kind of neat, but then there's a bigger pool of cards. The cards are different. Cards change columns. There's defensive. It just feels like there's a little bit more oomph going on. I will say that this game feels different than other games that are out there. You know, yes, I have games where you run a row of cards, but this one felt cool. The theme is not necessarily unique. There's a lot of spirit games going on right now, but it looks cute. It's really easy to teach people. It's fast to set up and get running. And having these different asymmetrical things, even though I don't think they're perfectly balanced, does feel cool to get going and get started with. So to that end, I'll recommend you try it out, but might as well throw in the expansion from the get-go. Without the expansion, there's just a little bit less than I would want in a game. So that is Night Parade. And just to clarify, my rankings for this game, which I usually put at the end of the week, I would give this a 6 out of 10 by itself, a 7 with the expansion. Anyway, until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching the Dice Tower. Dice Tower Judgment with the expansion approved.